Shalom to my brothers and sisters in the body of Yahushua HaMashiach and to the scattered Hebrew Israelites who are throughout the four corners of the earth. Today I bring you a very important message, and the title of this message is Hebrew Israelites Wearing Triangles, a Pagan Symbol of 666. And you're probably thinking, what? Another symbol? Yeah. It's another symbol that many people do not recognize, and it goes unnoticed. And you're probably thinking, well, what Hebrew Israelites are wearing triangles that we haven't noticed? Okay. So take this time to pause your screen because I want you to understand what the triangle means and how does it equals to the beast's name, which is 666. For when you start to study about the Illuminati, the Freemasons, even the Jewish people who are the sons of Japhet and the sons of Esau, because they are into witchcraft and idolatry, because they follow the Kabbalah and they follow the Tammuz. And when you do a further study, you will learn that the Illuminati also have their dabblings in that Kabbalah too as well. Okay, so take this time now to pause your screen to understand how can you get 666, which is the beast's name, from a triangle. For when you understand geometry, you will see that each corner is represented by a degree of 60. Okay, and from that degree of 60, they are able to get 666, which is the beast's name. Okay, and they often use this triangle to represent the Elohim head, which is the Father, Yahuwah, the Son, Yahushua, and the Holy Spirit. But with them, they don't come with the name of the Father and the Son who are in heaven. They come in a pagan name. They come in a foreign or strange God name, which Yahuwah told us not to mention or to say, but because the children of Satan was so clever, those were the names that they taught the masses to say, which is still evident to this day, okay, to give you understanding. This is why it's written in Revelation chapter 12 and 9 that Satan had deceived the whole world. He had done a very good job with that, my people. But now Yahuwah is waking us up and bringing us out of the darkness and into the light and revealing to us what Satan and his children has done to his people, okay? So the next screen we're going to go to is my Facebook page, because a lot of these symbols that we see the pagan worshiping or using for the beast name come for the heavens. And as you can see here, we have a cross right here in this photo. Okay. And we have triangles as well. Yes, there are triangles in the heaven. Okay. One of them is called a summer triangle, which you see in this picture here. Okay. And then another, and that same summer triangle can be seen with the Southern Cross right here. Okay. And when you have understanding of what the King James 1611 Bible is telling you, it will lead you to Deuteronomy chapter 4, because the Most High gave the other nations over to the angels to be their rulers. This is why you see GODS in lower capital letters in the Bible, because in the English tongue, that's what they would use to say ruler or judge. But in the Hebrew tongue, it would be Elohim to mean gods. Okay. So as you can see in the English tongue, the word gods is very broad, and you won't have a true understanding whom that person is talking about until you fully listen to them and hear them out. All right. But before I go to the scriptures of what Deuteronomy chapter 4 was telling us about the Most High turning the other nations to the angels, such as Satan and himself, I want to take you to Wikipedia first. Because when you look up triangulum, it says that Triangulum is a small constellation in the northern sky. Its name is Latin for triangle, derived from its three brightest stars, which form a long and narrow triangle, known to the ancient Babylonian and Greeks. Okay, Triangulum was one of the 48 constellations listed by the second century astronomer, but Ptolemy. Okay, and I'm going to pause for right there so you can see. So this link will be in the video description box for you to review. So now you begin to understand, where did the heathens get these symbols from? Again, Satan and his angels taught the heathens about to worship the things in the heavens. Okay, and I want to scroll down because I want you to look at the pictures that is provided in this. This is kind of small right here. I'm going to see, can I click on it? And you can see what it will look like in the heavens. Take this time to pause your screen for that. And let me go to the next one. This is dealing with a triangle in the southern celestial hemisphere. Okay, what I showed to you in this first one was dealing with the northern hemisphere. Okay, so what you have in the north can also be seen in the southern, and that's very important to know. Okay, this too link which shall be in the video description box. The title of this is Triangulum Australi. Okay, let's see if they have any pictures in here. Okay, they don't in this one. And when you have a moment in your spare time, Google triangle 666 and you will see all these different images of the triangle, and will get you understanding why do we see some of the Hebrew Israelites wearing triangles. Okay, this is very important to know, because these things are right before our eyes, but they are hidden. This is very important to remember this, because this is how the children of Satan works. They give you a lot of truth, and then they mix lies behind the truth. Okay? In other words, they mix the truth with lies. This is how the serpent was able to deceive our mother, Eve. Remember, Eve is the mother of all living, as written in Genesis chapter 3. So this is how the serpent was able to deceive Eve, because the serpent gave her a truth mixed with a lie. And this is the same strategy that the children of Satan also uses. Also notice here, you will see this symbol with a lot of businesses today. This symbol is around everywhere. Again, it's a part of witchcraft and sorcery to keep you in the dark. Okay, and there's one particular triangle I want you to see, because sometimes you can see the base to be a square, which leads into a triangle, which is this one right here. Again, when you understand the mystery of how you can get the square root of the beast's name to get the power of 3, then you will understand why you see some triangle that has a base of a square. Okay, that's the mystery behind that. Check the video description box for videos to give you more understanding on how to get the square root of the beast's name to give you the power of 3. Okay, then let me see where to go next. I want to take you back to this tab before I show you whom I have been seeing wearing triangles, because I know many of you are going to be in shock, because you were like, no, not this group, because you're probably saying to yourself, this group has been teaching me the truth. They are the most organized or the most well fit group compared to the other Hebrew Israelite camps, and you're probably saying, well, they give the perception that they are about the Father business. Okay, well, if they truly are, why are they wearing triangles on their garments? Okay, and I'm bringing this out because they also preach against the 6-pointed hexagram star, but yet the 6-pointed hexagram star has been in some of their Facebook posts. Okay, also with this group, they have made a video about the six-pointed hexagram star. So you're probably asking yourself, well, why would they be preaching against these pagan symbols, but yet they are wearing these symbols? You have to understand how the children of Satan work. And what I'm saying about this Hebrew Israelite group who call themselves IUIC, okay, what has happened with this group? Their leadership has been infiltrated by agents, and it's evidence. These are one of the signs to let you know they are still into idolatry. And you probably say, no, it can't be. Well, when you read Ezekiel chapter 36 and chapter 20 and Isaiah chapter 4, you begin to learn that Israel still to this day is into idolatry. I'm talking about the nation, I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about as a nation of people. They are still into idolatry. And this includes the Hebrew Israelites who are awakened. Yes. So take this time now to pause your screen to look at these triangles on the garments, okay? Here go another picture. You can see how well the triangles are on their garments. Look at our brother Nate. And you probably said, well, that's because how this pattern cut. Okay, well, I still have more evidence. Okay. Now, if you look on this picture, you see how they put the little bead going across their shoulder. That's so you know that is a triangle pointing downward. And that's the reason why that triangle is pointing downward. Okay. And keep in mind, their members are not aware what they're doing. They truly believe they are following righteous leaders. That's what their members truly believe. But my people, I want you to know this. Yahuwah is aware of what these leaders are doing. Okay? He is keeping a record. So when he bring them out into the wilderness, he's going to deal with all of that. Okay? It's just that you keep your house in order. You just don't do what they do. All right? Okay. I will say this part right here. But let me take it, which take us now to this tab. So when I Google search triangles IUIC, and I want you to see this as proof because I blew up this picture right here that you see again, and you're probably saying that's innocent, and I blew up this picture right here that you see. So let's go there now. This is a picture of them showing you some information, but notice, why is it in the shape of a triangle? And you probably think, well, that's just a geometric shape, no harm. Okay, you can think that. And again, this comes from IUIC. It is because you see their logo up there. Okay. And also keep in mind, take a good look at that logo and you'll see why I'm mentioning this to you, because it's something in their your logo that many miss. It's there, but many miss it. Okay. Again, remember, the children of Satan always have their symbols right before our eyes, but they're hidden. Okay. Because they have taught us to use these symbols every day in part of our life. So that's why we don't pay any attention to when the children of Satan are using them. Okay. Let me go back because I want you to see that it does come from them, IUIC. It's not a group. It's the IUIC Instagram right here. Okay. The next photo I'm going to take you to was a video they did, and this is on YouTube. It said IUIC, the Israelites, the demonic star, and etc. right here. Just so you know where this is them. It's nobody else. And I'm going to take it to the picture because you're probably saying, well, they're just not aware that they are doing this. Oh, they're very much aware. Let me go to the picture. Here you go. You see the triangle in the middle? They said what? The immortal Trinity. So they are very aware about this triangle. Don't be deceived. See, the Illuminati use a lot of different geometric symbols for their ill will. And these symbols can be found in the heavens, such as the triangle, okay, that I just showed to you, and such as the cross too. Yeah, these things can be found in the heavens, some of these symbols. So take this time now to pause your screen because this came from IUIC doing a video. And this is their video they did. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to put it on mute. Okay. But it's titled IUIC, the Israelites, the demonic star, and it's on Ezekiel Israel channel. Now, by the time you see this video, they may take it down or they may leave it up. There's no telling. Now, this is the part I do want to pause here. Now, this is the perfect time to pause your screen because, yes, to pause your screen because you can see a lot of 666 in this logo. You see it here, that's one. You see it there, that's one. And then if you go down here, that's one. Even the bottom, you have a 6 here and a 6 here. And sometimes how they display this symbol, that is a 6. Let me go to this photo over here. It was this one. Let me go back to it. Like here, you see here IUIC, and they got the I capitalized, and you can see a 6 here, right in here. The evidence is there, but I know y'all looking at their image and say, no, not these guys. These guys teach us the truth, and no, not them. You know, they're not like the other Hebrew Israelite camps that we see today. Okay, well, I got more evidence. So when you have some time, watch this video and see how they preach against the pagan symbols, okay, which is really idolatry. Okay, I want to show you this information. It was published on September 11th, 2015. So this year, we just came into 2017. So they are very much aware. Okay. So they know, I mean, they truly know about this symbol, the triangle, that we as Hebrew Israelites should not be wearing it. And you're probably saying, well, why should not be wearing it? Because it's dealing with witchcraft. It's dealing with spirits. And it's also dealing with, see how they brought up the Kabbalah? I want to go back to it. Oh, it's dealing with spirits and it's dealing with witchcraft. And when you have these symbols on your garments, it's a way for a spirit to possess you. Believe it or not. For those who are aware, here it go. For those who are aware of what the children of Satan do in witchcraft. Okay. So they are using these symbols to keep you in the darkness so you can think they are in the truth. Okay. Now let's bring us to this photo. This is recently. This came from IUIC Chicago on January the 12th of this year on Facebook. And it said, Happy New Moon from IUIC. And you're probably saying, no, this don't have anything to do with idolatry. It do. When you are familiar with the Illuminati, you are aware that they are into things of light and things of darkness. And if you look behind this word new, there's a bright light here. Now you probably say, well, what is that light doing there? Because you have a picture of the moon. Again, they are telling you who they are. And see this logo again? You got a 6 here. And you can't see that here because of darkness. But if you trace their logo here, you can get 6s out of this. Okay? But see in this photo here, you got the moon here is the light. So why would this light right here be behind this W that they're trying to hide? Okay? Let me tell you why. It is go to this one. And I'm not just coming against them. I had came against other Hebrew Israelites who are wearing these idols and who are deceiving the masses to believe that it's okay, but it's not. But this is what they're hiding, my people. Don't this star here looks like one of the Illuminati stars, like the 8-pointed stars? They got many different stars, people, for a reason. When you start to study about the children of Satan pagan symbols, and it's for a reason. This is the light that they are hiding. Okay? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-pointed star here. Okay? Very important. So you got 2 triangles on top of each other. Now I'm going to take you back to this photo. See here, that's what they was trying to hide. Something to really to look at. And by the time you watch this video, they may take it down or they may not. Who knows? Okay. Another thing I want to point out in the album is that when they would have their new moon day, they would make cakes on the new moon. And when you read Numbers chapter 28 and you study about the new moon offerings, we are not supposed to make cakes. That has nothing to do with the new moon day. Okay. And the reason why they're having their people to make cakes on the new moon day, it goes back to worshiping the Queen of Heaven. And this is probably why they wearing those triangles. I'm sorry. I got to correct myself. The reason why they're having their people to make these cakes on the new moon day, because it goes back to our people worshiping the Queen of Heaven. And the Queen of Heaven is also known as the Queen of Babylon, also known as the Asharoth, that's written in Judges chapter 2, also known as Venus. Okay. And Prophet Ezekiel talks about that. I'm trying to find the scriptures for you so you can read about it. But this also goes back to the God that they call Meni, with the number. I'm going to find the chapter for that as well. But when you read, let's see here, what is it? What to do? Look for the bubble description box in this video, because I want to give you the scriptures that either the prophet Ezekiel or the prophet Jeremiah was talking about with the Queen of Heaven. Okay. And to read about Tammuz, you can find that in Ezekiel chapter 8. All right. So that's what they're having their people to do, but their people are not aware that they're worshiping another God. Because the word is very clear about what to do on a new moon day. Read Numbers chapter 10 and Numbers chapter 10 and Numbers chapter 28, which is very important. And those who have a copy of the Apocrypha, even first Xhrist, the first book of Esdras will also tell you what our people did on a new moon day. It was a holy day unto the Most High that we worship him. Now, it was not a Sabbath day, which is meaning the day of rest, but it was a holy day. Now, the only day that a new moon is a Sabbath day is on the 7th month and first day, which you can read more about in Numbers chapter 28. So this is what IUIC leadership is leading the people to do, is to worship the things in the heaven or to worship another God, which is a no-no. Okay, that's another one of the pictures with their cakes and stuff, which we are not supposed to do. All right. Some other things I do want to point out to let you know, because I'm not only coming against them, I come against anyone who support these idols. This FYI, because a lot of them say, well, we had it before the heathens do. We had it before the heathens. That's not true, because now the Most High is revealing, such as the Satan flower known as Fullness. Okay, that also was in ancient Babylonian days, such as the days of Nimrod and other ancient civilizations. So it's evident. Okay, triangles, flower. Furlu, D-list, all these things was symbols of the pagans symbols of the heathens that they worship. Okay. And these symbols was taught to them by the angels, whom the Bible called principalities. All right. Now, I do want to point this out. Let me see here. Before I leave this page, I want to make sure there's something else I want to point out to you. As you can see, it's even in the TBN station logo right here. I'm going to click on that. It's so small, but they do have triangles in their logos as well. Okay, you can see even on some churches' windows, a triangle. Okay. So the leadership in IUIC is telling us every day whom they truly serve and how they are leading the children of Israel into idolatry. Okay. Let's see. We look at see what's going to be the next photo, and which brings us to this photo. This is why you see most of them wearing purple. Again, it is the agents of Satan who has infiltrated IUIC leadership, who has convinced the people that our colors should be purple because the Bible says it's royalty, and they're not even understanding that even the Illuminati uses the color purple for their own ill will. Okay. So someone in that organization is probably a grand master or serves someone or serves someone who is a grand master, and that's where they get all their teaching and knowledge to give to IUIC, which explains why they have these heathen pagan symbols in their organization. So take this time now to pause your screen. And a grand master would be like a 33 degree Mason. Sorry about that. Now, which brings us to this scripture here, but my mind is telling me, well, what do you mean about them coming in another God's name? Well, when the Most High revealed to you that the name that they are teaching the people to say on a daily basis is a name of a foreign God. Okay. And when you go to your Strong Concordance, the true pronunciation of the name they are speaking today is this.
Strong's G 2424. Iesus. Iesus.
So just by hearing that name alone will let you know this is dealing with the son of Zeus. Okay. Another thing that you will learn in your research is that about the title. The title Christ has nothing to do with the Messiah. Okay. The title Christ is the anti-Messiah. So you probably ask yourself, well, why is this group IUIC would name itself Israel United in Christ, especially when their leader had been in the truth for more than 20 years and who have studied the Hebrew. Okay. And that's the reason why I'm bringing it out, because there are many other names.
G 5547. Christos. Christos.
I'm sorry about that. I had played it a little too early. But there are many names that we can give our organization or groups besides the pagan heathen names. Okay. And you can be very creative, especially when you have studied the Hebrew, and know that the letters of the Hebrew even mean something. So do not fall for the deception about the name doctrine, because that is not true what they're telling you. There is power in his name. And when you study the Hebrew and what the Hebrew letters represent, then you understand why his name is powerful and why the English name is totally different, and why they had you calling on a strange foreign God. Okay? Because when you hear this word Christ in the correct tongue and you see an X right here, it represents Antichrist. This is the name.
Strong's G 5547. Christos. Christos.
I'm sorry. This is the title that they are teaching people to continue to say to this day. Now, I am aware that what's the word I'm about to say? I'm aware when you're on the street that you have to reach a lot of people and you have to use a language that the people understand so they can hear you out. But the Most High made us very wise. There's other things that we can say to reach our people and they will still understand whom you are talking about. And you'll see as we go further in this video. But I do want to go back to the word, because to give you understanding that the Most High did turn the other nations over to the angels. And my mind first, before I read the scriptures to you, my mind is first telling me to go to Ben Sirah, which is the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, and go to 17, verse 17. And then we'll come back to Deuteronomy chapter 4. And there's a reason, because I know what the children of Satan would do, because you have to understand what the Most High mean, that Israel is his inheritance, is his portion. Okay, and this verse will explain to you what that means. Ben Sirah, chapter 17, verse 17. This is why it's so important for you to get your copy of the King James 1611 Bible. For it says in Ben Sirach chapter 17, verse 17, for in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the most high portion. Now I'm going to click on this picture here because I want you to understand about the precepts that's dealing with who is the ruler over every people that he's talking about. Okay? I really want you to see this. So we're going to Ben Sirach 17, verse 17. Right here. Now the precept for the ruler over every people is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8, and Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Make sure you write that down. Okay? And then dealing with the precept of Israel is Yahuwah's portions. That precept is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 20, and Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 15. In other words, the Most High is telling you that the kingdom of Israel belongs to him. He is their ruler. But for the other nations, he had turned them over to the angels, who are called principalities, which are Satan and his angels. Also, I want to say this for clarification for my Gentiles who are watching. When you join yourself to the nation of Israel, to their kingdom, Yahuwah now becomes your ruler, your king. And evidence of this can be found in Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 10 through 15, because we had Gentiles coming out with us from Egypt, as written in Exodus chapter 12. So when they joined themselves to the covenant, that's who became their ruler too, Yahuwah. Which the same thing is going to happen again, and proof of that is in Isaiah chapter 56. Okay? Now let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 4. And read, because this is very important. I want you to really hear this. This is very important of what the Most High said to Israel. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 14. And the Most High commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no matter of similitude on the day that Yahuwah spake unto you in Horeb, out of the midst of the fire. Lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth, and lest thou lift up thy eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahuwah thy El had divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. Now you want to highlight that verse. This is what I see some of the Hebrew Israelite camps are doing. They are leading our people to worship the hosts of heaven and the things in the heavens. And they are creating things that are in the likeness of the things that we see in the heavens, such as the triangle, such as the 6-pointed hexagram star, such as the 5-pointed hexagram star, such as the as far as the things in the earth. They are worshiping Satan flower, which is through the list. Do you see this? And the Most High told you in his word that he gave all other nations to be under their rule, but Israel are to be under his rule. Highlight that verse. And I have to read it again because I want you to really hear the word, what the word is telling you. It said, and lest thou lift up thy eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahuwah thy El hath divided into all nations under the whole heaven. Okay? Verse 20. But Yahuwah hath taken you and brought ye forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Take this time to pause your screen to read this, because now we are seeing what these so-called leaders are doing. And some of them are infiltrated by Satan agents and don't even realize it. And some of the Hebrew Israelite leaders are leading their people back into idolatry and don't even realize it. And the ironic thing is that it's all coming from Esau. For Esau is a part of the Jewish people. Okay? Esau is also the Roman Catholics. When you study the Bible and the hidden books and history, you will learn that that's Esau's kingdom, as prophesied in 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 7 through 9. That's the kingdom that we are in now. Even the even the World Council of Churches, the WCC, symbol and logo that is written in Greek, and you look it up, it means Roman Empire. Okay, so that's the empire that we're in, that Daniel prophesies, that Ezra prophesied in the Apocrypha, and what the book of Revelations is talking about. The evidence is there. So I'm just warning you, my people, because when he bring you out into the wilderness, the Most High is going to clean Israel up, because they are still into idolatry and they don't even realize it, because their leaders had led them into idolatry, and their leaders are either agents or they have been infiltrated by Satan agents. Okay? Which brings me to this scripture here, because a lot of people won't read it. Go to Ezekiel chapter 36. Again, this is dealing with the Father name, because a lot of them want to disregard his name and think his name don't mean anything. But this is what the words say. I'm going to show you what the words say here. And again, read Exodus chapter 23, verse 13. Because the name means something. Also, there'll be videos in the description box to give you understanding about the importance of learning his name. But this is Ezekiel chapter 36. And I want to read just a couple verses, okay? Starting at verse 16. Moreover, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. This is how bad their evil ways were, my people. It was compared to the uncleanness of a removed woman. Verse 18, Wherefore I pour my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they have polluted it. Okay? See, he going back to idols again. Verse 19, And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, and according to their doings I judged them. So the reason why we're in this captivity, my people, is because of what my ancestors did. And their children to this day still haven't learned anything from their mistakes. Verse 20, And when they entered into the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, These are the people of Yahuwah, and are going forth out of his land. They can't believe that you are the Most High people. Look at the way you talk to people. Look at what you say to the Gentiles and to your own brothers and sisters who are Hebrew Israelites. You don't have the spirit of Yahushua in you. You don't have the spirits of the Holy Spirit. And you definitely don't have the fruits of the Spirit in you. See, what I see today, my brothers and sisters, I see the anti-Messiah spirit fruits in some of these wicked Hebrew Israelites. Okay, let me keep going. And when he's talking about profane my holy name, they had given our Holy Father a bad reputation and a bad name among the Hebrew Israelites and among the Gentiles, who both of them are the children of Adam. So they are pushing people away from serving and worshiping the Most High. In other words, they are turning them off from the word, from the King James 1611 Bible. Verse 21, but I have pity for my holy name, which the house of Israel have profaned among the heathen, whether they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith Yahuwah, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whether ye went. So this is not about you, Israel. It's about the Most High, about his name. Okay. Verse 23, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahuwah, saith Yahuwah, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. And I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Verse 25, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Throat got dry. Okay. In verse 26. Notice the Father said here, a new heart also I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I would take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And this is evident today because many Hebrew Israelites are not born again. For in the body of Yahushua HaMashiach, it's written in the New Testament, those who are born again will have received the circumcision of the heart. However, the nation of Israel, who is not born again, heart still remain uncircumcised. This is why I'm stressing to you the inheritance for the body of Yahushua HaMashiach, which is the bride of Yahushua, inheritance shall be totally different from the nation of Israel inheritance. Again, you have to understand the heavenly realm and the earthly realm. Verse 27, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your El. And if I say so be it to that. So as you can see, my brothers and sisters, we should not have any type of pagan symbols on our garments. We should be teaching our people the name of the Father and the Son, because a name have a meaning, my people. And I'm showing you this image here because this is the name of the beast. This is the image of the beast. And when you understand what the TIHS represent, it represents 666. There will be video links in the description box, because now you understand how this tie into some of the Hebrew Israelites who are wearing the heathen symbols. And all of this come from Esau, okay? Which is the synagogue of Satan, okay? And I'm talking about nations. I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about a nation. I'm talking about their kingdom, okay? Because when you study who are the Jewish people today, they are the sons of Esau and the son of Japheth, all right? Also in the video description box, there's a message that Yahuwah has sent to us last year to give you understanding why the Hebrew Israelites' identity and land was taken away from them. I highly recommend that you watch that as too well. But I was just looking at the color. Notice it's like, to me, like purple, but it could be a purplish blue. But that's another reason why they wear purple, because they're trying to say that they are the rulers. They are the kings. It's always about I, okay? And they will use what the Bible say about the color purple for their ill will. But when you read about Yahushua HaMashiach, the saints, their garments are white. There's a reason for that, okay? For those who read the whole Bible. So as you can see, everything's traced back to one root. Whether it's the Illuminati, KKK, Freemasons, the Jewish people, it all comes from one root, which is the synagogue of Satan. And they all have their dabblings in the Tammuz and the Kabbalah. All those wicked doctrines, those false doctrines, and even practicing witchcraft, it comes from that root. And their angel who rules over them, their principality is Satan. So now you can see this is about spirit now, my people. Either you're going to have the spirit of Christ in you, or you're going to have the spirit of the Messiah in you. And remember, the spirit of Christ is the anti-Messiah. All right. So this is why we can see the wolves coming in the name of Christ, because when they saying Christ, which is Christos, they're coming in the name of the son of Zeus or in the name of the son of Satan. Okay. Which I had already shown you in the Strong Concordance. All right. So this make you wonder, especially with the leader of IUIC, because he's been the truth for a very long time. So you would ask yourself, why would you say Israel United in Christ when you could have named yourself Israel United in the Messiah? And that word is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Or they could say Israel United, or they could say Israel United of Yahuwah, or Israel, or the Church of Yahuwah. I mean, it's many ways they could name themselves, but I'm telling you, those agents that's in his organization, it's because of what they are doing and what they are convincing them to do. So this is why they chose that name, because they're coming to you in deception. They're not coming to you in truth. Okay. Also, when they're on the street corner, they can say, well, we have to say that name so people can know who we're talking about. Well, this is where wisdom come in. The Most High, for those who are born again, you will receive wisdom and understanding from the spirit of Yahushua who dwell in you. So you can say to people on the street corner, do you know who is the Son of God you follow? Do you know who is the Lord you serve? See, you can take the words in that Bible and find a way how to present it and still get his truth out and speak a language to a people where they can understand. It's a way of doing it. You just got to ask the Father to show you why. Which also I want to bring this out. When you see a lot of Hebrew Israelite camps talking down to the women, telling that you're supposed to be quiet, you're supposed to shut up and learn only from a man, and you can't not do anything. Well, those guys are speaking out of ignorance because they did not read the whole volume of the book. And they did not understand Paul's writings. And what Paul was setting up was order within the church so there won't be confusion. Okay. And also Paul was following the Torah. He was. But this is the problem with the brothers. They can't recognize when Yahuwah is speaking. And in the Old Testament confirms to you that he will speak through a man or through a woman. They have prophet and prophetess. This is why Deborah could be a judge in Israel, because she had the spirit of Yahuwah upon her. Okay, so I want to give you these chapters to read, because the reason why today the women are ruling the men and why the children have become our oppression is because Israel has still remained into idolatry, or Israel are still being disobedient. And the proof for this can be found in Isaiah chapter 3, especially that chapter. Read that chapter, because it's letting you know there's nothing new underneath the sun. What happened back then is happening today. And the Father is trying to get our brothers' attention to wake up and to stop being disobedient. Okay? And when you see the brothers come down the sisters, I'm telling you, that is the spirit of the anti-Messiah. And it's a reason for that. Satan knows that the woman has the ear of her husband, her children, her brothers, and her sisters. And the woman, if you have a righteous woman in the Most High, that woman can turn a whole nation back to Yahuwah. Okay? Satan knows this. So this is why he uses the brothers to come down on the sisters. Okay? But let me give you the rest of these scriptures. Isaiah chapter 3, Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 22, because Yahuwah said he would do a new thing in the earth, that a woman shall compass a man. Because again, Israel is still being hard-headed and will not listen. They are backsliding. Okay. And then Acts chapter 2 and Joel chapter 2 confirms to you that in these last days that your sons and daughters shall prophesy. And prophesy means to preach. And the Most High gave us the qualification of letting you know whom he called. Read Numbers chapter 11 and chapter 12. And then read the last chapter of Deuteronomy and see how Joshua got his anointing. You have to be anointed and ordained by Yahuwah himself to preach, to teach, or to do whatever that's in the body of Yahushua HaMashiach. These are the things that the brothers are not teaching. Okay. And reason why you see me making videos, because the Father did call me in one of my videos. Is proof at the time, he was sending me so many messengers and dreams. And finally, he helped me to understand what he want me to do. So he called me to do this. So I'm just answering the call and obeying my Father will. Okay, so read Acts chapter 2 and Joel chapter 2, because evidence of this is with Sarah, our mother, who told our father Abraham to send Hagar, her son, away. There was a reason for that. And the father told Abraham to listen to his wife on that. Rebecca, who is also our mother, she was the one who told Jacob how to get the blessings, because she told Jacob, you listen to me. Don't worry about your father. If there's any curses, let it fall upon me. Read that chapter again. Again, it was Rebecca who understood the prophecy that was given unto her. All right. Then we have Deborah the judge, and that's in the book of Judges. Then in the New Testament, we have Anna the prophetess. She was at the temple telling people about Yahushua HaMashiach, about the Savior at the temple. Again, when you understand Paul's writings about order, he's talking about when we come together to worship, there's an order that has to take place. But outside of that building, outside of the synagogue, outside of the temple, outside of the house of Yahuwah, place of worship, women can speak, women can teach, women can preach, because when the Father ordained them, it's not them speaking, it is the spirit of Yahuwah speaking through them, when you understand that mystery. Then we have Mary, who was the sister of Lazarus and Martha. She was the one who anointed Yahushua HaMashiach before he was crucified. And even the brothers was trying to come against her, but Yahushua rebuked them, in other words, corrected them, and let them know, no, she do a good work upon me. And because of what she done, she would be famously known even in our times. Okay. So in other words, make a long story short, it is the spirit of Yahushua that teaches you all these things. Read 1 John chapter 2 and 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 through 5. For he is the hidden man that is in the wife heart, that convince her husband to be won over. He is the hidden man in the wife heart that convinced her husband to obey Yahuwah and Yahushua by her conversation. Read 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 through 5. You see it. This is the mystery why Yahushua and why the apostles told the women to submit yourselves to your husbands. It was a reason for that, and that's the reason. Because the Most High can use you women to speak to you, to get a message to your husband when he's not being obedient. Okay? And which brings us to this, even in the body of Yahushua HaMashiach, in Ephesians chapter 5, it tells us that we are to submit to one another. Okay? And the reason why we submit to one another, because Yahushua dwell in us. His spirit dwell in us. Just like Elijah's spirit dwelt in Elisha and John the Baptist. So because his spirit dwelt in us, this is why we are submitting ourselves to one another. It's not about man or woman. It's not about the flesh. It's about the spirit. And when we submit ourselves to one another, we are submitting ourselves to Yahushua HaMashiach and to Yahuwah. Okay? For it is Yahushua HaMashiach that teaches you how to submit, my sisters and my brothers, and shall give you understanding on how to do it. It is not man, for man is flesh. So when you are born again, and when you wherever you ask in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, he shall teach you about how a man and wife. He shall teach you how a wife should submit herself to her husband. He will also teach you how children should submit themselves to their parents. He will also teach you how the youth and the young adults should submit themselves to the elders. And this is one topic that most people don't talk about. He shall also teach you how servants should submit themselves to their masters, and also teach the masters how to treat their servants. Again, it's man that's not teaching you, my people. It is the spirit of Yahushua HaMashiach, and Yahushua HaMashiach is the comforter that is written in John chapter 4 through 16, which is confirmed by Matthew chapter 28. This is how he's with us always, by his spirit. Okay? So remember, a lot of them are not born again, and you can tell them by their spiritual fruits, for they would be like the Messiah. In other words, they would follow the Lamb example that is written in the King James 6:11. So this is very important, my people. So 1 John chapter 4 will have to be applied when whomever you meet, or whomever you're fellowship with, or whoever you're following. For you need to test that spirit by the spirit. For they will come with a lot of truth mixed with lies, and they will even do good deeds. And you probably ask yourself, why? Well, you have to look at their motives. And it's about getting your choice. It's about getting your trust, and to have rapport with you, so you can let your guard down. So this is why I keep stressing to people, get your copy of the 1611. Wherever they read, go back behind them, read the whole chapter, look at the precepts. And when you don't understand something, ask the Father to give you understanding. Remember Luke 11:9-13 and 1 John chapter 5, because Yahushua HaMashiach said, whatever we should ask in his name, our Father shall give to us. But remember, our Father give things to us according to his will, according to his appointed time, because he know what you can handle without being in sin. For some who get too much knowledge, the sad thing is it may lead them to turn away from him. So our Father in heaven knows what's best. But again, if you're not understanding something, go to the Father in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Stop running to man, and Yahuwah shall answer your prayers. So I'll close this video out with this. I plead the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach upon this video and the links attached. Yahuwah, I ask you to afflict an evil judgment upon those who try to stop the truth until they repent and do what is right in the sight of your eyes. I also ask that you give your people understanding of this truth for those who wants it. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, so be it. So now I hope this video will give you an understanding why do we see some Hebrew Israelites wearing triangles, which is a heathen symbol. It's a pagan symbol. This is not of the Most High. Okay? I hope you really get the understanding of this. And I just want you to be careful of whom you fellowship with, because Ezekiel chapter 36 is going to come to pass when he bring the nation of Israel out into the wilderness. And you know, when the Father said, when I plead with them face to face, it's not begging. He ain't going to be playing with you anymore. And those leaders who have led you astray from him into idolatry, they're going to be held accountable for what they did. So leaders that are watching this video, I'm telling you to repent. Make it right while you still have time before Yahushua HaMashiach returns and carry out his Father's judgments. This is serious. It's no joke. I love you all, my family. Continue to preach the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10 and baptize them in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. For the Lamb set the example as well the apostles. Read the whole book of Acts, because that's proof that they did continue the water baptism. Even after Acts chapter 11, they still continue it. Read Matthew chapter 16 and John chapter 3. For we must be born again of the water and of the Spirit in order to enter into the kingdom of heaven. A mystery that many do not understand. And Shalom.